Hey y'all, I hope you guys are doing well today. We are going to talk about that launch with Louis Vuitton because for some of you guys it was smooth sailing, it was wonderful. For other of us, it was a total nightmare, and I feel like I got lucky online, but I know it was just so chaotic and a mess, and so I just kind of wanted to talk about it. Real quick though, hi, hello, my name is Monty for those of you guys who do not know me. For those of you guys who are returning, hi, hello, come on in. It's good to see you again. I am a content creator for fashion and beauty. I like to have an intersection of health. I am a mother of three. I had 3 in 3 years, and I'm also a breast cancer survivor. I am most active on Instagram. If you want to keep up with me, I post on Instagram almost daily. I try to reserve the weekends for myself, but I'm on Instagram all the time. I would love to see you over there. We're almost at 13K on Instagram, so that's just really exciting for me. We are almost at 1K here on YouTube, and part of the reason is I'm just not as active on YouTube. I want to be a YouTube girly though. I really do. So for 2025, we're putting our best foot forward. Trying to do my best with my upcoming surgeries, but we are really going to be trying to be putting a lot of energy into this platform this year too. So I consider myself fortunate. I do have some pieces from the original Murakami line that released in 2003, I want to say it is. You guys have asked for a blog post about it, so I am working on that blog post. By the way, I do have a blog. I'll have the link listed down below for you guys. So this is the bag that I have from that collection. I also have a couple of SLGs. I am wearing my confidential bracelet right here, which I also think is a beautiful piece. So I figured I would show you guys my bag since they re-released the Pochette accessoire of part of this collection as well, but I found out the width is actually smaller, so I'm really glad I have the vintage version, although she is old and she came to me needing a lot of TLC. Still one of my favorite pieces in my collection, one of the pieces that you guys talk to me about the most, just because this was such an iconic drop for Louis Vuitton. I think one of the reasons why the re-release had so much pandemonium around it was because this was the collection that got a lot of us younger millennials into the higher design space, right? So I remember when this came out, it was either in middle school or high school, like very early high school when this came out, and I was just so drawn to this collection. I remember Raven-Symoné was wearing this, but I saw so many celebrities just wearing this, and it was my first true introduction to Louis Vuitton. And I remember going to the Louis Vuitton store on 5th Avenue in Seattle, and I had no business there as like a little teenager, but they let me try things on and play around. They were very kind and nice, and that just always kind of stuck with me, especially when I started getting in to buying these goods. So it's always been a very special memory. When I bought this in, I want to say it was 2016, was shortly after I had graduated. It was such a hallmark moment for me as someone moving in to buying designer luxury goods. And it's also kind of where my love for vintage fashion has kind of stemmed from. So seeing this re-release in stores was a very beautiful moment for me. So I want to show you guys real quick what fits into my Pochette accessoire. This is the vintage version, so it is slightly more wide than the current version. So if you bought the current version, you wouldn't be able to fit as much in there as I'm able to fit into mine. But they still do have the vintage versions online. Now I bought mine in, I would guess you would say satisfactory condition. It wasn't really the best condition, and I bought it for sub 500. But at the time, those that were going in better condition were going for around like 700, 800, around there. And I wish I would have invested a little bit more extra money, but I was a broke college student or coming out of college, and so I didn't have that much more money to invest, but I wish I kind of did. I took a look on eBay after the launch disaster just to see what the vintage pieces were going for now, And these are now going for around 700, 800, starting in like this condition, which I wouldn't say is like top tier condition at all. So the re-release has definitely affected the pre-loved market, but there still is a pre-loved market. So if your heart is on getting one of these beautiful bags, and she is a beauty, you still have a chance if you want to go vintage, which I think these vintage bags are absolutely special. But you know, all the people want new bags too, and there's nothing wrong with that. So let me show you what is packed in here. So I have my headphones case. I have my current favorite Louis Vuitton perfume. This is a little sample that I got. This is City of Stars. They gave me the sample when I was shopping in New York. I went to the Herald store and they just gave me a bunch of perfume samples, and this was my favorite, and I ended up buying the bigger version of it. I have a little hand lotion from Jo Malone in here. I got this for Christmas and it's just a really nice one. I have a very small Charlotte Tilbury lipstick. I have a Rosalie coin purse. Now this is the same green that they re-released for the Murakami collection. This was called the matcha green when I bought it last year. Now they kind of rebranded it as like the green tea green or whatever. But it's the same green. The only difference is with the Murakami one, it has the Murakami stamping up here, and then it has a little patch of the Blanc multicolor on the inside. So the coloring is pretty much exactly the same, but I think this green was a little bit more powdery in person versus on the website. I'll put a comparison here so you guys can see. But I think it's absolutely a beautiful green. Different than what I was expecting, but it's still beautiful. Next, I have my passport holder. I have been traveling a lot, like I told you guys. And so I have my little Hawaii stamp in there. I actually have a list of books that I need to download to my Kindle. And then over here are my stamps. I forgot to get like the PDX for Portland. So when I'm down in Portland again, I'll get a little stamp. They also had passport covers a part of this launch too. I was thinking about getting the one in Blanc, but then after the disaster, I quickly changed my mind because I'm just like, I'm not ready to start a new passport yet. But my passport holder. And then I have space for a few more things in here. I have another little perfume. This one is from Ness. I believe this is the Indigo. Yeah, this is Indigo. It's a very, very good smell. This is one of the smells that when I wear it, just with my body chemistry, everybody's asking what I'm wearing. So this is a very, very good one. I have my nail file from Chanel. And just to let you guys know, we are still doing that giveaway. I still have 2 sets to give away, one in yellow, one in a bright pink. But I absolutely love this nail file. I bought this as gifts for some of my family and some of my friends. And yeah, they loved them. Speaking of which, this is the mirror from that same Code Color collection from Chanel. I have a lighter. Something about the survivalist in me just always wants to carry some like survival good with me. Either I have my Leatherman or like a lighter, sometimes both in a bag. What am I going to do with a lighter? I don't know. If I get stuck somewhere, I can make heat, I can make fire. But always have a little lighter with me. And then the last thing in here is my key clay. This one is in the Empreinte leather from the By the Pool collection in this beautiful, beautiful pink. So not much fits in this bag. This had also the beautiful red interior from the early 2000s, which I thought was gorgeous, and I was a little upset that they didn't bring that back for the re-release. But beautiful, beautiful bag. Absolutely love it. I wear this all the time, but I haven't actually photographed it much. I think that's because this is a bag that I typically grab for like when we're doing quick errands because it holds just enough. And so this really is a daily type of bag for me. And so I don't really style her much. I just kind of grab and go with her, and I don't know, I really enjoy this bag. And I'm so happy I have this in my collection, and it's tied to a great shopping memory, unlike what I got from Louis Vuitton. So let me talk about my experience shopping this drop and what I got and everything going on with that, because I was able to purchase something, but it's not here, obviously, because it's online and I just ordered yesterday. So backing up to December 31st, I was on the phone with Louis Vuitton. I was trying to contact my CA to deal with my repair. We'll get into the repair situation. Some of the issues with my repair is Louis Vuitton's fault. Some of the issues are my fault. But there's been a lot of back and forth trying to get things going with that. So I was on the phone, and I had asked, it's like, hey, I saw that the Murakami collection is supposed to drop on January 1st. What time is that going to drop online? To which I'm informed that it's actually going to drop on the 3rd online, and that I should be checking for my time zone anywhere from 9 p.m. on January 2nd to 6 a.m. on January 3rd. I think that's important that I got told that, because a lot of people were told to check 2 p.m. Eastern time, which is way later than you actually should have been online. So I am checking starting at 9 p.m. on the 2nd. I check at 9, I check at midnight, and I wake up at 4:45 because I'm generally up around that time anyway. And I start checking, every 15 minutes. I get back on at 5:59 a.m. I refresh at 6. Boom, it says that the collection is available online. And it is also immediately sold out. And it's just like, okay, I'm expecting that. My CA also told me that, hey, just to know, it's going to be absolutely madness on there. And so it's like, yeah, absolutely. Everybody's going to be trying to get their hands on this collection. I've heard people say that they weren't expecting it to be as wanted. And I don't know why people would think that, because this is such nostalgia for a lot of people. A lot of people who don't know anything about Louis Vuitton know about this collection. And so it was clearly going to be a very big launch for them. So I'm like, okay, I'll try one more time. And I don't think I would have tried as hard if this didn't happen to me. So I told you guys in the other video, I was specifically looking for specific things. So I had wanted the card case originally, because that's what I saw, and I was thinking about a bandeau. I was going to buy one of the vintage bandeaus, but then when I saw that this collection was coming out, I was like, I might as well just buy a new one if I can. So those were the two pieces that I kind of had in my mind. Logging in, I saw that they had the Romy card case, and I was like, oh, that could be cute. So let me try for that. It let me put it in the cart. I went to go check out, and then I got this error message. It essentially told me that it wasn't, it was already sold out, had to take it out. I took it out. I went back. It told me it was available again. This is when I realized that there was issues with the website. Long story short, multiple error issues kept cropping up, and I'm like, this is a problem. It really felt that Louis Vuitton has not invested in their IT. And I'm a little bit worried about that, because it's just like, they have so much of my personal information, because I shop on Louis Vuitton probably more often than I should. And so it's just like, ooh, if they're not investing in their IT and like all my, information's there, it's like, that's a little cumbersome, or not cumbersome. That's a little bit of a problem. But I'm also thinking, like, my mind is like so focused. It's just like, I want the card case, or now I want this Romy card case, if I can get one of the two. At this point, anything else that I was kind of casually thinking about, I'm like, this is out the window. We're only focused on trying to get one thing. So around 6:05, I'm like, it's let me add it to cart several times. Maybe it's in stock. Maybe it's just an issue with the website. I go ahead and I was like, let me just call Louis Vuitton. So I make my first of 4 attempts of calling Louis Vuitton at 6:05. It tells me it is going to be about a 45-minute wait. So I'm like, okay, I want to wait on the phone. It's 6:45. I already started some work. Let me just, refresh the website, see if, it'll actually work. So I'm refreshing the website. I'm waiting, I'm talking to my husband. We're just kind of laughing at this point with how ridiculous the website is. And then 45 minutes elapse. And then I get what I see a lot of people heard on Reddit was that the beyond their control, the phones aren't working. And so it hung up on me. At this point, it's about time for the online chat services to open. So I'm like, I'll just use online chat. It's not available to me. It's not available to a lot of people. Some people were actually able to go on the online chat, but they said they had similar issues with the online chat automated services, having to wait like long periods of time only to like get disconnected, which was so frustrating. So at this point, I'm starting to get a little bit frustrated. I'm like, I'm done. I tried one more time and it's like it keeps sucking me in because it gets added to cart and it allows me to get almost all the way through checkout before it's just like it's done. And I'm just like, this is so frustrating. And I think that if I had tried for like, an extended period of time and wasn't able to progress forward, I would have just been like, I'm done because I'm happy with the vintage pieces that I have. But it kept luring me back in, and I feel like that was by design, and I feel personally attacked. I don't think that was fair at all. So I attempted to call a second time. So I tried calling the second time. It is the same thing, and it just absolutely annoys me. So we are sitting around 8:45 at this time, where it's just like I've been on the phone for nearly 2 hours at this point, only to be disconnected. The website's giving me the runaround. This collection honestly isn't that serious, and I feel like I can also say that because, again, I have some of the vintage pieces, right? So I feel quite happy with the multicolor that I have. But I know there's a lot of people who forwent getting vintage pieces at cheaper prices, by the way, for getting a newer collection. So for me I can just easily say it's not worth it for me. I know for a lot of people, it was a lot harder to let go. But I ended up letting go and was like, I've got work I gotta do. So I went around doing my work. I did put notifications on for the app. I never got any notifications that things were back in stock. People were getting notifications that things were in stock that weren't though. So the website and the app were literally all over the place. So it was around I think 9:30, so about an hour, a little less than an hour later, I had just opened my phone again to get to my email when, the last website was up, which was Louis Vuitton, and it was on the Romy card case, and it said that it was available. I'm like, okay, it's here. Let me just try again. So I went to do add to cart. It added to cart. Didn't get my hopes up because I went through this whole song and dance before, right? And then it allowed me to get much further in checkout than it had before. But then it started giving me an error that my address was invalid, which is like, I've had issues with my address with Louis Vuitton anyway because of what's going on with the repair. So I'm just like, to me, that makes sense. After going on Reddit, apparently this was another error that the website was doing. So multiple times I tried to get my correct address in there, or my address refixed. Finally that went through. Then it told me that my payment was invalid. I'm just like, I don't even know what that means, right? And so I tried to do that multiple times. I'm getting frustrated at this point. So I attempted to call again. It's telling me that the wait time is going to be 48 minutes. I don't believe it. But I'm on hold. I am putting in my information, and then magically it goes through. I get a confirmation email from Louis Vuitton. I'm like, okay, but it says pending order validation. And I've had that happen before, and that's generally when something either goes wrong on your end or something goes wrong on Louis Vuitton's end, and things had to be sorted out. The last time that happened, my bank for some reason thought it was fraud. I'm like, you know my purchasing history. You know I ordered from here, but my bank had thought it was fraud, so they had stopped the payment. So I wanted to make sure that the payment had actually went through so that I could get my order. So I attempted to call a fourth time and got hung up on after waiting. And I'm just like, at this point, it is what it is. Either I have the product or I don't, but there's nothing else I can do. So there's no point in being upset or mad or anything like that about that. So I go about my day, and then I want to say it was probably around 11 o'clock. My mom gets a call from my CA for some reason, and this is one of the problems that I've been having. A lot of my account stuff is now tied to like my mom's information, and I don't know how that happened. We don't know how that happened. I tried to get it fixed on the 31st and again on the 1st. It just never got updated. So the CA calls my mom forwards her to me. And I'm talking to her. We're getting everything lined up with my repair so I can finally get my strap back. And I'm very happy about that. By the way, very, very sweet woman. I've never had a negative experience with a CA at Louis Vuitton. They've all been very kind to me. Now, had some issues with the company, but the CAs have always been very kind to me. So I'm talking to her. I let her know, it's like, hey, I just recently made a purchase. I don't even know if that went through. And she was telling me that on her end, she can see that the purchase did go through. But if I had concerns, she could patch me directly to client services, because in theory, it should be a lot easier for the repair team to contact client services. So she's like, let me do it. Don't go back on the phone again because it's going to take forever. So I'm waiting 30 minutes. And she keeps coming back. She's like, don't worry, they're just busy today. Understandable with everything going on, but I can get you through to a person. After about 40 minutes, she gets back on. She's like, I've never had this happen, but I got disconnected. And I'm just like, I am not surprised. I heard that people weren't able to get through by email. I heard they weren't able to get through to their stores. I heard that people obviously weren't able to get through the phone lines, nor were they able to get through online. So there was just a lot of technical problems when it came to contacting Louis Vuitton during this launch. And then all of the server issues that we kept getting, we got 403 notices, which I'm just like, okay, they have a lot of people coming onto their website, but seeing all these technical notices and then hearing that they scaled back their IT department, I'm just like, you're getting such an influx of data. Like, is my data safe with this site? I live in the middle of nowhere. And so it's like, I feel like I have different like CA numbers, and thinking about it kind of logically now in hindsight, it's like I should have contacted them directly since I have their phone numbers, and contacting them directly might have saved me some headache and made it easier for me to get my my item. But I didn't do that, and I consider myself very, very lucky that I kind of got an open space on the website and was able to secure something. By the way, I guess to end the story out, I called today. I was still on hold for about an hour, but I actually got a hold of someone, was able to verify my item. It will be shipping out on the 7th, and so that's going to be Tuesday, so I should have my item soon. Which I'm very excited for. I'm very lucky. Most people's experience online was just as annoying as mine, but they didn't get any fruit for their labor. And so I consider myself lucky that I was at least able to get something. I'm excited about it, right? But oh my gosh, like I said, I feel so bad for people who are told they were able, you know, to make a purchase online and absolutely weren't able to make a purchase online. There's a lot of us fashion lovers who don't live in the city. I don't live in the city anymore. You know, growing up, I didn't realize how awesome it was to live within like a 10-minute drive of any luxury store that I could not afford at the time. Now that I can afford it, it is an hour flight away. Definitely can't just run out and go to the store even if I wanted to. And I know that so many people had their hearts on getting something from this collection. What I forgot to say was, like, at one point I was so frustrated. I'm just like, yeah, I'm probably not going to get anything from the new collection. I thought that it'd be cool to have a piece from the new collection, but at the end of the day, for me, it's not that serious because, like I said, I love the vintage collection and like it's near and dear to my heart. I have several pieces. So I ended up buying this mirror case because what I really wanted was something like for my cards, right? So I ended up buying this mirror case, and that's coming in, I think, on Tuesday. It's either coming on Tuesday, sometime next week. So I'll show it to you guys. It's already been shipped out, so it's like, I'm good. The itch is scratched. It's just, it popped it back again on my phone, and lo and behold, it went through, and I was excited about that. But yeah, no, there were so many people who actually wanted something from this collection, and then actually seeing the prices of this collection, still very expensive, but not over the top expensive for Louis Vuitton. It was in reach for a lot of people who really wanted something from this collection. And I know that some people are just like, it's not that serious. Why are people crying about it? Why are people frustrated about it? There's more serious things going on in the world. And I'll agree with the fact that there's definitely way more serious things going on in the world. None of this is that deep, but this is a good escape for a lot of people. And so to have your heart set on something, to be told that you have a chance to get it, then being told you're going to have to fight for it, but you can still get it, only to hear in the end that no, you're not going to be able to get it this time, and then not knowing any other recourse that can happen, yeah, that would make you frustrated. And I think anybody who has any frustration has every right to be frustrated about it. Fortunately, my story ends in like a victory. I have the Romney card case. It is coming. I'm excited about it. Ultimately, I think that was better than getting just the regular card case because I have a regular card case and I've been thinking about the Recto Verso or the Romney card case for a while. I just didn't know that this was going to be a part of this collection. So seeing that and seeing that it was an option, I think that was a much better direction for me. And I'm excited to see it in person and show you guys. But that is my story. I will show you guys everything when it comes in. I'm excited about it. I do think there will be another drop for the multicolor collection, but they also are doing the cherry blossoms and they're doing the cherries. I had for some time thought about, I'll show you the pieces that I wanted from the cherry and from the cherry blossom collection up here. And like I told you guys in the last video, I had kind of put those vintage pieces on the back burner in favor of moving towards jewelry. I am wearing my Van Cleef necklace and my Tiffany necklace and whatnot, my Cartier and my emeralds, because I'm moving more towards jewelry now. But it's just like, if I want those, especially with those releases coming up in April and in May, now is the time, I think, to move on vintage pieces that I want. So jewelry may be taking like a seat for a little minute, and then I'll get the vintage pieces that I want from the Cherry Blossom and Cherry collection. But yeah, that is my story. I don't know what to tell people other than if you are going to try to shop online, try to see if you can get a CA beforehand. Don't just try to shop online by yourself. It worked out for me, but for so many other people, it didn't work out and it was a headache. have an attack plan beforehand. If you can do a pre-order, do a pre-order. I didn't do a pre-order, and I wish that I would have. I just, at the time, was just like, I'm not too serious about this collection. And I'm very glad I got the card case, because it's like, it would be nice to have something new and something old. But have an attack plan going in if you're going to get the cherry blossoms or the cherries. I think the cherries is going to be just as insane. So yeah, have a plan of attack if you're going to go attempt to do this online. And try to get a pre-order if you can, if you want it, because it is going to be, Louis Vuitton's not going to make it better. They have no incentive to make it better. They're not. And it's not that they don't care, but they don't care, right? So have a plan of attack, and best of luck to anyone who's still trying to get their hands on this particular multicolor release or any of the Murakami releases in the future. Okay, I rambled on way too much at this point, so I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, noon, night, whatever time it is you guys are watching this. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my night with my family, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!